Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation. Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I am your just-in-time host, Justin D. Morgan. And I think we'll get on with seeing who's in the chat. We have Jack68K. Hi, Jack. Hoping to join before you call it a night. All right. Well, hopefully you'll be in later. We have Frank S. Hi, Frank. We have Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Hi, Dave. We have Thomas Armstrong. Eep. We have Joe's Computer Museum. Yes, Joe, I am late. No, it's not late. It's just in time. We have myself noting that I was probably going to be a bit late because I left my phone at work and had to go back and get it. So I had to compress a bunch of stuff into a little less time and, well, didn't quite fit. We have Francois. Hi, Francois. Should be sleeping, yes. Well, we have Gutbomb. Hi, Gutbomb. And, well, let's see here. We have a sort of mystery box behind me. It was a mystery to me because I had forgotten about it, despite the fact I paid for the shipping on Saturday. No, actually, I got home. There were two boxes on the porch. I'm like, okay, I know one of these is the eBay item that I got an email about being delivered, and the other one is, what is it? I don't know what it is. It didn't help that the first name on the shipping label was not the person that I had contacted on Facebook. They had posted some pictures of stuff on one of the groups I'm on. It's like, you want this? It's untested. Just pay shipping. So, of course, it didn't dawn on me that that was the box. No, it's not. That is the D for Damien. No, it's not. It is not DVDs. We are going to look at it, though, because I think you might like what's in there. But first, let's see. We got, I got a coffee goal so I can get parts. Links in the description. Hi, Jesse and Sadmac. Welcome. Yeah, it's not DVDs. At least it shouldn't be DVDs. At least I hope they didn't see Tuesday's live stream, call the post office up, say, hey, we need that box back like ASAP so we can put DVDs in it. Actually, it shouldn't be DVDs. Should be more things that are on point for my channel. Let's see here. Got some system source stickers that I picked up at the Computer Museum at System Source Stickers. Basically, I've been slowly bringing stuff downstairs. Thought I would, let's see here. Thought I would put these in my sticker box. So if you are at System Source at the Computer Museum, they do have stickers. So I picked up a few. Jesse says, spoiler alert, it's CDs. Frank S says it's DVDs of Trident cards. Alright, let's see. In this box, I do have the two cards we're going to look at later tonight. So I'll set those to the side. I have, oh yes, things that you all send me. I have an eBay item that's not worth mentioning. Oh, and then we've got the box of mystery parts. Hey, K-Mac Vintage, welcome. All right, so this comes from Gutbomb by means of Joe's Computer Museum. So, Gutbomb, in a little box that I opened on Tuesday, sent me a 3D printed battery holder for the Mac Plus and a ribbon cable. And Gutbomb also ordered from Joe for me one of Ron's TTL video adapters. So thank you, Gutbomb. See, I even have a nice Ron's computer video sticker there. Let's at least show that right side up. See, there we go. Look at that. So thank you, Gutbomb, for getting me one of these. It's going to go in the Mac Plus. And the cool thing is, I have easy access to that Mac Plus right now. I don't know that that's necessarily good news. All right, let me make sure Joe didn't stick anything else in here. It's probably got a packing slip in it. Oh, yeah. Let me, okay. It does have a note on it. So, Joe wrote the note, says, Gutbomb says, yo! Smiley face. All right. Thank you. See, when you put a note in something, I will read it. As long as you don't, like, try to trick me into saying something I shouldn't. All right, so let's go on to the box of parts here. It is not a mystery box because I know what's in it. It might be a mystery to you all at the moment, but it's not a mystery to me. I do remember what is in here. I also did remove a little bit of the packaging just to make it a bit easier to deal with, but we have some computer cards here. These were well packaged, and the first one is an untested ATI Rage Pro Turbo AGP with some sticky substance on it. So, awesome. Dave says my stream may go into Sunday. So, who did I... Let me see if I can read who I... Oh, I pulled the shipping label off of this. I'll have to look up who I got these from later. It was for the cost of shipping, so... Alright, I grabbed a 3Com network card with... It doesn't have an EPROM socket, but it is an Etherlink 3. So, again, untested. So it may or may not work. So I can't use this for XTIDE BIOS or something, but, well... Joe says, not a Trident. Unsubscribe. Well, I don't think they had any Tridents, but I've got Tridents elsewhere. In fact, I think Chris might have another Trident card for me already. Yes, actually, he does have another. He told me this morning he's got another Trident card for me already. All right. We've got a Rage Pro PCI card. Again, untested. So, cool. Don't know how much RAM it's got on it. It should just call me Poseidon. Yeah. Alright, I think I'll open this one last, although this might actually be the last item in here, because that's just packing paper. Ah, okay. Alright, and then I think this is the last item that they had that was of possible interest. Alright. Alright, I think, I believe the name is coming back to memory where I got these. I believe it was Sabrina Mendoza. So, someone that's a member of one of the vintage Facebook groups that I'm on, posted a picture of a bunch of stuff, and these are the items I said that I'd be interested in paying shipping to get, so... So, assuming I'm remembering the correct name, thank you, Sabrina. Alright. And the last item is a socket 462 motherboard. The computer sunk. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully that doesn't mean I lost my audio. But anyways, I got a socket 462 motherboard. It's also untested, so I do have a socket 462 processor that's on a motherboard that the USB doesn't work. Actually, I think the PS2 might not work either, so I might be able to put it in this board and get it to run. So, alright, so those are the untested goodies that I picked up from one of the vintage Facebook groups. Ah, Jesse says I remember that listing. Yes. So for the reasonable priority mail cost of like $13.50, give or take, got some untested goodies. Now, speaking of untested goodies, I know why you're here, and that is for these two cards here, including this ATI card that is certain to break the internet because, oh no, there's no sticker on that EPROM. It's going to be erased just by having 30 seconds on your workbench. No, not 30 seconds, 3 seconds on your workbench. No, it takes a bit more UV than that to erase it. The sticker probably also just simply fell off. So, I forget what cards these are. I'm going to have to go look at the description of my own live stream. All right, this is a ATI Graphics Ultra. From what I can tell, I think I used the website DOS Days to identify it because the sticker that was on the EPROM would have helped with identification. But the card looks to be in good shape, other than the missing sticker. So this might just work. But since it was sold for scrap, I'm gonna at least make sure there's no shorts on the board before I plug it in. I may also pull the EPROM and read it just to make sure it's readable. So there's that. So we'll do at least a quick sanity check on it before I just full send with power. It's got zip memory. It's actually interesting. Not only does it have zip memory modules, but it also has dip memory modules. So the only thing it's missing are non-existent flip memory modules. No one wants those because they like to flip-flop randomly. So there we go. Nice ATI 16-bit graphics card. Hopefully it works. We'll see. I don't know. These are untested. And then we have a MediaVision Pro Audio Spectrum 16. So these were respectable cards back in the day. They were usually sold in bundles with SCSI CD-ROM drives, so these were actually quite pricey back in the day. I think more so because of the SCSI CD-ROM bundle. And yes, indeed, this one does have a SCSI controller. Right there's the Zilog SCSI controller. It does have a Yamaha OPL 2 or 3. I don't know which one that is. It's the YMF 262. But it does have that. I believe, if I'm reading the version of the chip correctly, this version does have the MPU 401 compatible MIDI port. And I don't know if it's because they wanted to be Sound Blaster compatible or what, but apparently these Pro Audio Spectrum 16 cards that are MPU 401 compatible also have a hanging note bug. Go figure. Hi, Ian. Welcome. Yes, we've got ISA cards. Again, before we just full send this card, I will make sure there's no shorts on it. Because I don't want to short anything out, obviously, but well, actually, this card doesn't have any tantalum capacitors on it, so I may just full send this one. I don't see any bent pins. I don't see any thing knocked off of it. So actually, I think this one I'll just plug in and we'll go from there. The ATI card, though, does have a few tantalum capacitors on it. So I'm at least going to make sure they're not shorted before I plug it in. Because sometimes I feel like I have no sense of adventure. All right. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check the capacitors themselves instead of looking up. All right. Instead of looking up the pinout on the ISA connector, I'm just going to measure the capacitors. All right. That's not shorted. That's not shorted. And let's see here. So the 3 down by the ISA connector are fine. All right. And that one's not shorted. And oops, here's a cute little tantalum here. Oh, that's right. I was going to... Actually, I'm not going to bother trying to read the EPROM first. I'm just going to... I'm going to do exactly what Will is suggesting. Plug it in, plug it in. Although, if it goes, it will be a much worse air freshener than a Glade plug-in. Alright, I do not know where my gaffer tape is. Oh, wait, I think I just remembered where my gaffer tape is. Oh, it's right beside me. Update, I found my gaffer's tape. So that I don't break the internet more than I need to, I will go ahead and put a little piece of tape over the window, just in case the spare neutrino flies through the basement to try to erase the EPROM while I'm testing it. Alright, so for testing this board, I've decided to pull out my 386 motherboard because it's just so cute and tiny and mostly works. I mean, I have some trouble with it sometimes, but anyways, it's a neat little motherboard. I mean, it's a PC chips. So the other thing is, oh, hi Jeremy, welcome. So the other thing is, being a PC chips motherboard, if I did absolutely destroy it testing one of these cards because the card was that bad off, well, I mean, I'd be a little sad, but it's a PC chips motherboard. In the grand scheme of things, there's better motherboards out there. Even if I've not managed to successfully buy them on eBay yet. So we'll go for the PC chips board. It's somewhat expendable. I'm pretty sure there's probably a PC chips enthusiast Facebook group out there. I suspect if there is, I'm probably will never be allowed as a member by my opinion on PC chips motherboards. Yeah. Joe says, a fun fact, the PC and PC chip stands for pretty crappy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. So I got my plastic toggle switch. Smoke test in 3, 2, 1. All right, well, no smoke. And, okay, I am on VGA 1. All right, I am not seeing anything on the monitor. All right, let me see if I can find my postcard, because... All right, let me find the postcard here real quick. It's on the table somewhere. Or, if I can't find the postcard, let me find a video card that I know works, so that I can confirm that the 386 is not... Because this motherboard is a PC chips motherboard, so it doesn't always like to play ball. Sometimes it likes to commit personal fouls. Sometimes it I think goes for the safety or the audible or whatever the one of the really embarrassing football plays is, and you probably can tell I'm just mixing sports terms. All right, I don't know what I did with my postcard. Oh, let me try turning it on again. Okay, I saw the keyboard flash. Oh, Gut Bomb. Yes. Gut Bomb's asking if I had a Tech Ambrosia 3D printed test bench, would I use it? Yes, I would. Okay, now that was really weird. Okay, well, the video card just decided to work, or the motherboard did. um, Jesse says safety gives 2 points to the defense. Audible is changing a play at the line. Um, okay. I don't think PC chips motherboards really play defense well. Other motherboards can run circles around them. Okay, I think this motherboard likes to commit audibles. As in, it likes to change the play when I flip the switch. Yeah, so I think it commits audibles. So let's mince other sports terms. So throw them in the chat. Thomas Armstrong's asking which 3D printer has a recall. Joe says we went out there and sports are best, but the other team sports better. So next time we'll have to get better at our sportsing. Yeah, that's a very Joe comment. All right, let's see if we can boot this thing, which means I need to find a compact flash adapter and a controller card. Actually, let me see if I power cycle the thing, if it'll even cooperate. Jesse says, so Aaron Rodgers invented PC chips. Ah, interesting. I think this 386 motherboard has problems, because I bet it was the problem as to why this card wasn't posting. So I turn it off, and I turn it on. Well, that kind of seems like this card might just be working. Jesse says, seriously, that 2022 season aged me 10 years. Thomas Armstrong says, ketchup PC chips. I wouldn't need them. And I don't know which 3D printer got recalled. Maybe someone in the chat will know. All right, let me see if I can find a controller card. And my compact flash card adapter, and all the good things that I've apparently set aside. All right. All right, I got that. I like to hide things, apparently. And I think I've hidden the controller card I need because it was acting up with this motherboard. But this motherboard's acting up. So, alright, if I can't find the ISA controller card, I'm just going to grab a newer board that's got built-in IO and be done with it. Well, the Mad Dog sound card, I'll just have to, it'll have to be happy with being set to the side momentarily. Alright, okay. I don't know where I put my controller card, so I'm going to swap out this 386 board that's being a bit bulky anyways. All right. And I'm going to use a Pentium motherboard that, well, it has its own issues, but it does at least seem to reliably post. Oh. All right. Jeremy will probably recognize this board. Yeah, the issue with this board is that one of the ISA slots is missing pins. So as long as I don't try to use that ISA slot, we should be good. Someday I'll probably replace the ISA slot in it. But it's okay for now. I mean, it works. All right, let me see if I can't. All right, so there's that. I think that's the way this goes. I always get these adapters backwards, so this may not work the first time. All right. So I can't use this ISA slot. You can see the missing pins. The other two ISA slots have all the pins in it, so they're fine. They work. I'll fix the ISA slot someday. All right. So this should actually turn on. And assuming I didn't put the IDE on backwards, like I think I did. All right. I guess I did put it in backwards. All right. You know, it'd be easier if they clearly marked pin 1 on these adapters. Gutbomb says fix the slot with aluminum foil. Oh, you know, I bet that's the card's test pattern. It's testing its RAM. That's why it looks funny. Okay. Or the BBB way with enameled wire. Yes, this is the one you mounted in the luggable case. Yes. All right. So, okay, I need to also replace the real-time clock on it at some point. Oh, which reminds me, so while I load some default settings here, oh, well, despite the fact the clock battery is low, interestingly enough, I don't think it's dead because the clock has been running somewhat. Because that's let's see. So it's 2150. All right, so I don't have a floppy drive attached. Oh, okay. We'll start with this for now. Oh, all right. Good night, Francois. All right, flashing graphics warning. So this is that ATI graphics card. It looks like it works great. All right, detected the card. All right, I think we can continue. I think it remembered the setup. There we go, and we're booting PC DOS. Yes, because I pulled this out of the Emerson Matrix 2000. So we have, this is PC DOS 2000. But I knew it had all the software I needed installed. Speaking of Emerson, I have an update on the Emerson 500 EC. That would be the talking Emerson. If you remember when I last tried to use it, I commented that I wasn't able to swap drives between it and other computers. I thought it had to do with that computer's ridiculous security. It might still have something to do with its ridiculous security. But it turns out, thanks to someone pointing me to a Vogons post that happened recently, the motherboard in that computer, the high byte on the IDE channel is wired backwards. So bits 0 through 7 are correct. Bits 8 through 15 are reversed. So basically, instead of being bit 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's bit 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. That's how the high byte was wired. Now, the reason why it works is because all the IDE commands, according to the Vogons forum, all the IDE commands only use the low byte. The high byte's only used for data. So that's why I can't swap the drive between other computers, because the data on the drive, the high byte, is flipped. So the only computer that can read the drive is that computer or another one like it. Now, did they do that to... Oh, hi, Rudy. Welcome. I just saw that you'd popped in the chat. Did they do that because of their ridiculous security? Did they do that because IDE was new and they wired it wrong? I don't know. But that's why I can't swap drives between the Emerson 500 EC and anything else, is because the IDE is wired backwards. And according to Checkit, the RAM on this video card appears to be working. Yay! Yeah. Now, the cool thing is, the person that posted that on Vogon's forum has created a board to flip the wiring around on the IDE cable, or so that you can just use a standard IDE cable and a standard drive and be able to swap it. So I asked if I could get one of those boards. So they said, yeah, once we get the boards and make sure they work, I think they said they could send me one. So yes, I could wire an adapter to flip those bits and make the drive universal, or I can take them up on their offer to send the extra boards out, give it a try, confirm it works, and then for anyone that doesn't really want to try to wire up an adapter, they can just have some PCBs printed. That's also a cool way to do it too. Anyways, I'll let y'all know. But yes, now I know why drives written on that computer won't, or at least IDE drives written on that computer aren't readable anywhere else, because the IDE is wired wrong. Is it because they made a mistake? Is it because it's part of the security to make sure you couldn't put that drive in another computer and read it somewhere else? I don't know. Ah! Well, Joe, I could, how about I'll send you a link to the Vogon post and maybe you can reach out to the person making the boards to see if they'd be interested in having someone resell kits or whatnot. So yes, do go check out jcm-1.com for all your retro computing goodies. Joe has blue scuzzies. He's got Apple VGA cards. He's got keyboard encoders for your Apple II computers. He's got Ron's TTL adapters. He's got Ron's remote batteries. He's got t-shirts. He's got mugs. He's got lots of cool goodies. So go check out Joe, jcm-1.com. He's a great supporter of this channel. And he's got some other cool goodies in the work too. So just saying that I'm one of his patrons, so I get to see things in advance. So go bookmark his website, because I think you'll want to go check it out later too. Just hint hint. Oh yes, Joe's pointing out Rudy's tiny comps are available there too. Yeah, you can get two of the teeniest, tiniest, cutest little boards that help you composite mod computers. Yes, and Rudy's got some cool stuff. Yeah, Joe stares at cool list of stuff he's working on. Yes, Joe's got some cool stuff in the pipeline. If Joe wants to drop hints in the chat, he's welcome to, but he's also welcome to be, nope, not ready to hint yet. Yeah, I know Rudy's got some cool things he's working on too, because he's dropped a few hints to me because he knew I'd be interested. So, but anyways, yes. Oh, okay. Check It says this video card's working great. So this is pretty cool. Now let's check this thing where it really matters. What happens if we try to run some graphics stuff? There we go. Joe says he's working on SCSI stuff, Apple IIe stuff, and PC stuff, and keyboard adapter stuff. Big smiley face. 45.7 frames per second. That's, well, I mean, granted, this is a Pentium motherboard on an ISA card. That's actually pretty good for an ISA card. All right, let's see if Chris's 3D benchmark will run. It probably will. It should run on this card. Oh, no, it won't. This card's not Visa compliant. Wah, wah, wah. I bet I could install a Visa. I bet if I install one of those Visa drivers, it would work. Yeah. Jesse says, please give us government secrets, lol. Yeah, Rudy says, Rudy's got K-Pro video out. If you want a beta test, or if you want a tester for that K-Pro video out, Rudy, I've got a K-Pro and it hasn't been put together yet, so it'd be real easy for me to wait a minute. Did PC Player Benchmark like crash out? Oh, I bet it requires Visa as well. Okay. Let's try Doom. I think Doom will run without Visa. So Rudy said, K-Pro video out, composite and... Oh, yeah, composite and RGB to HDMI plus Commodore PET companion board. Cool. Yeah, yeah, Jeremy says the only bottleneck's the ISA card. Hey, Vborg, welcome! This is that ATI card I picked up this past weekend. It just works. Or as Adrian Black would put it, it freaking works. I didn't have to do anything to it, although I did put some tape over the EPROM window. And it just works. So I have to, I'm going to decline to say how much I spent for these two cards. Just out of courtesy to the Glitchworks. But I will also say that I think I've already got my money's worth out of this one card working. So, no regrets here. Yeah, Vborg says, nice. I have the same card. Mine's got bad RAM on it, though. Bummer. Yeah, this one's, Jeremy says, ATI was Canadian. Yes, they were. Although they're part of AMD and their Canadian offices might still exist. I don't know. AMD may still have some of their graphics designers in Canada. Let's see, Thomas B. Oh, hi, Thomas. What resolution is this? Also, is it DOS or Windows? This is DOS, and that was probably 640 by 480. Yeah, I've definitely got my value out of it. All right, now this one I know is 640 by 480, so this is Quake. Oh yeah, I got my value out of this one card. And I still have a Pro Audio Spectrum 16 to test. Granted, I want to dig up some drivers for it, or at least put Unisound on this compact flash card. I may just try Unisound at first. Oh. Except that I believe my compact flash reader is... Oh, I found my postcard. Oh, wait. I think my... let me see. Is my... Oh, wait. Oh, there's my compact flash reader. I found it. 23.9 frames per second. It's actually not bad. I've got this on a Pentium board. It's an ISA video card, but it's on a Pentium board. That's why it's performing so well. All right. I guess just because it'll give us some facts here. Jesse says, get your money's worth. That's actually a Major League Baseball term. Cool. Thomas B says, hi, fun fact, AdLib was also invented in Quebec, Canada, and if they had patented it instead of making it open source in air quotes, they would be multi-billionaires now. Vborg saying that his video, he thinks it's the dip RAM on his video card that's failing. Well, that actually might be a little easier to fix, so. Oh, well, Rudy, I'm glad you could join us for a little bit. So have a good night. Ooh, and Rudy says he'll have an Apple II series card coming soon. Neat, cool. All right, well, glad you can join us for your coffee break. There we go. So, if you're wondering, so actually, this program says it's a VGA Wonder XL. The DOS days said it was a Graphics Pro Ultra or something like that. I don't know. They're probably both correct. But yeah, okay, so it has 512K of DRAM. Neat. Oh, fun fact, I just looked at the back of this ATI card. It was made in Canada. What do you know? Oh, Freeborg has replacement stuff, just hasn't had time. Yep, always the case. All right, what did I install on here? Okay, so I do have Planet X3 installed on here. So if I get this Pro Audio Spectrum 16 up and running, then I'll at least have something that can play AdLib sound. So let's power down here. And I'll go ahead and put the sound card in. Go ahead and put the sound card in. I will go ahead and plug the audio cable in. That way, if it makes any strange noises, we'll hear it. All right, I will turn the speakers up just a little bit. Jeremy's asking, do I have a VGA card with bad zip RAM? Maybe. I'm not convinced it's the zip RAM. I do have a VGA card. It does have zip RAM, and it has a fault. I'm not convinced it's the RAM yet. It is in the box that's beside me. We may take a look at it if we get through these other cards. I'm going to go ahead and continue. Okay. Let me see if maybe... I don't remember if this hardware info program can see sound cards. Otherwise, I'm going to see if I can pop Unisound. Okay. Maybe it can't. This sound card may be jumpered wrong. Okay, well, this program doesn't really see it. Okay. Jeremy says, I have an idea in mind that may take care of the RAM. Well, at the moment, I'm not convinced I have one with bad RAM. I also, though, do have some zip RAM, although I don't know if it's the right size. Because I had a new bus card that it was trying to think which one it was. It really doesn't matter which one it was. Basically, I had a new bus card that was like it could be an 8-bit or a 24-bit card. So it came with enough RAM on it to be an 8-bit card. But I'd bought enough zip RAM to populate it so it could be a 24-bit card. Well, by golly, the video card didn't work. So I sold the video card on eBay, the place where I buy things I later regret. And from that comment, you can probably figure out where I had bought the video card. But I kept the zip RAM. Now, granted, I don't know if that zip RAM works, but I do have some zip RAM. All right. At the moment, I'm just gonna like. I just want to download Unisound because. All right. Basically, Unisound is a universal driver is maybe the wrong term, but it's close enough. It's not like it. I guess basically, when I think of a driver in DOS, I think of something that's going to load into memory and stay there. In reality, this is just a program that's going to configure the sound card and exit. I just want to see if I just want to see if it sees the sound card. If it does, then I'll bother trying to find the actual drivers for this card. But this is quicker than trying to find the drivers for the card. Oh, Jeremy just sent me a link to... Yeah, that's nice. Interesting. Well, the problem is that's for an Amiga 3000. And I would not want to replace zip RAM on a video card with Sims because then you can't put anything in the next slot over. Now, if I could replace zip RAM with like dip RAM, that would be different. Oh, good night, VBorg. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. All right, let's see if well, first of all, let me use the correct keyboard. No plug and play card detected. Okay, this might not be a plug and play card. All right, let me see if I can't find the jumper settings. All right. Here we go. Well, that's not it. All right. Oh, I think I just found them. Maybe. Oh, this might actually be a Pro Audio. No, this isn't a Pro Audio Spectrum. This is a Pro Audio Spectrum 16. Hold on, I didn't find the jumpers. All right, let me go back to table cam. I want to pull the card out. Actually, that might be it. 1650 004401. Oh, here we go. I think I found the. Here we go. It's on Media Vision. Hold on. 650 dash. I may have misidentified this card. May only be a Pro Audio Spectrum. No, wait a minute. It says Pro Audio Spectrum 16. Okay, I'm seeing conflicting things. Some things it seems to call this a Pro Audio Spectrum 16, and some seem to call it a Pro Audio Spectrum. One of the two is correct. So I've got the card, I've got the jumper settings here. I just need to check them. All right, so I think I want on J2, I want open, open, closed. And that'll put this card at base ID IO address is forced to 388. For all other IDs, the software scans for. No, let me find the software for this. All right, so I guess I am going to have to run the software for this card. I can't just use the Unisound. Okay, so let me find the actual drivers for this card. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to get this card configured. It's not a plug and play card, but it does look like the drivers have to run. Oh. Oh, Gutbomb says, I literally just realized you were saying SIP-RAM and not ZIP-RAM, and I was wondering what the heck ZIP-RAM was. No, actually, Gutbomb, I was trying to say zip RAM. So what is zip RAM? Yeah, well, zip RAM is the. I don't want to pull the video card out. Let me. I think I got a video card here. Here we go. This is my broken video card that has zip RAM in it. So these are zip RAM modules, ZIP. And the reason they're called zip RAM is probably more apparent if I actually show you the underside of the board. And there is actually 2 rows of pins, but you notice how they kind of zip from one side to the other. So I don't really want to pull the memory out. But those are zip RAMs. So on one side, the pins are slightly staggered from the other side. So yeah, that's zip RAM. They're a pain in the rear. Yeah. So this is zip RAM. Yeah, they're staggered like zipper teeth. That's why they call them zip RAM. I'm sure it's a play on zip RAM, like single inline package, but they call it zip RAM because it zigzags like a zipper. Exactly, Sad Mac. Thanks for the elaborate. Okay, Ian Scott says the original Pro Audium Spectrum was in 8-bit cards. So that's not what I have. Okay, I just it probably is a Pro Audio Spectrum 16, and this website probably just left the 16 off of it. Probably not intentionally left it off. It's probably one of those they probably have the name from an incomplete listing, and it's not intentional. They left off the important 16 in this case. All right, so let me grab the. Oh, actually, DOS Days did a retro review on this card in 2021. Neat. Ah, here we go. So I got the drivers. Let me copy them into my CF card here. Let me create a install folder and press folder tools, extract all, and we're going to copy this to D. Install mv underscore pas16. There we go. All right. So I have the driver installer on the CF card. Let's. All right. Actually, this Visa Local Bus card, if we get through with this will be the one I would kind of like to take a peek at if we have time. So this one, Chris had bought this one at the System Source swap meet last year. I was there at the swap meet when he bought it, and it failed. And he said, "Here, it's your problem now." Chris knows how to speak my language for things like this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll cook up an adapter for zip RAM. It seems to be rather straightforward, especially since zip RAM is being sold for $6 per chip. Oh. Alright, well, we'll see what you cook up. Alright, what do I need? I need to run... Install. There we go. Install software and set up hardware. Alright. Pro audio. Well, that looks good. Do I have Windows on my system? I don't at the moment. So, alright. System has been set up using the default settings. Press return to modify these settings and perform a sound test. Alright, well, I think I believe it's working. Alright. So DMA3, IRQ7, yes, joystick, yes for Sound Blaster, 225.1, MPU 401 emulation. I will leave that off. I don't need to use that. Except the configuration shown above. All right. All right. I mean, I did hear the test sounds come out of my speakers, so did I just happen? Am I 2 for 2 on scrap cards? I might be 2 for 2 for on scrap cards. Oh, all right. It detected the SCSI host adapter. I might have to. Oh, the one thing I may do. Maybe I need to grab my blue SCSI and put some ISO images on it. I might do that another time, though. All right, Planet X3, because I want to see. All right, see what it sounds like. So it should be ad lib. All right, well. All right, we definitely have sound. All right, we have ad lib. Yeah. Jeremy says, to be certain that my adapter will work out of the gate, I would like to verify the pinout via the datasheet of the RAM the VGA card has currently installed. And I have no idea what RAM is currently installed on it because the card is currently facing backwards. That is... That does not look like the right datasheet, Jeremy. Oh, wait. Maybe it is. Okay, I got fooled because the you have to scroll down far enough. All right, so the or to all right, so the which card do you want me to confirm? Because my Sloopy says I have a bunch of zip RAM commonly used by Amiga 3000s and mini video cards. The well, okay, the ATI card I have that has anomalies that I don't know if it's the RAM or not has a KM 424C as in Charlie, 257Z as in zebra dash 6 memory chip. Jeremy says, like all things vintage, zip RAM will eventually fail. Yes, but like all things zip RAM, I'm not pulling zip RAM chips out of sockets unless they fail, because I have a tendency of bending legs putting the zip RAM back in. So I'm not pulling the chips out unless they're actually failed, because I'll mangle the legs. That's just a matter of fact. So that Sloopy says 256K by 4 DRAMs. Yeah, that does appear to be the case. Sleepy says they have the same pinout as DIP DRAMs. They're just... yeah, it's the same pinout as DIP. So, oh, hey Sloopy, welcome. All right, I presume this ATI card has the same zip RAM. All right, so I have a working sound card and a working video card. I'm 2 for 2. That's amazing. I think maybe I should take a look at something else now. Of course, granted, I could clean these cards up a little bit too. I think all the zip RAM has the same pinout, because they're all like... yeah, I think that's the data sheet for the memory that's in this other card. I think the zip RAMs all have the same pinout, if I'm not mistaken. Well, actually, that is kind of weird, though. Output in... oh, those are 20... yeah. Okay, so that is one difference here. So some of these zip RAMs are 20 pin, but I think the ones on this ATI card are 28 pin zip RAMs. Yeah, that's definitely 28 pins. This other ATI card is... this is why... I don't know how many different RAM formats they had to come out with before they finally just got rid of them all. This other ATI card is also using... oh, this other ATI card is also using 28 pin zip RAM. Oh, well, that's because 28 pin zip RAM does not match the pinout of 20 pin zip RAM, because I believe 28 pin zip RAM may actually be video RAM. But I'd have to look at the... yeah, so the 20 pin zip RAMs are just dynamic RAMs. The 28 pin zip RAMs are video RAM, which is why there's some other signals on it. I can't tell you what the difference between standard DRAM and video RAM is, so... Oh, hi, Tom Barber and Micro Hobbyist. Welcome. Both chips are 28 pin in this case. Oh, well, no. All right. Well, I'm looking at the data sheets you sent me, and the M5 M5M 44256 data sheet. It's a okay. There's a 20 pin and a 26 pin dip version, but if you'll notice, the 26 pin has missing pins on it. There's like 6 pins missing in the middle, and then the zip is 20 pin. That's a DRAM part. The second data sheet you sent me, the KM42 4C257, that's a 28 pin part, and that's actually a video RAM. So those are two different types of zip RAM. Yeah, okay, Sloopy says, yes, 28 pin is commonly called video RAM, but they are just dual port, where the second port is serial for video. But I'm pretty sure the video card's probably going to be using both ports. So yeah, they're both. Well, I can't tell you why the pinout's different, Jeremy. An electrical engineer, but you are correct in saying that there is a difference between the SOJ and the zip pinout. According to that datasheet, the pinouts are completely different. I I do not know why those two pinouts are different. I can't explain it. But you are correct that according to that datasheet, the pinouts are different. So maybe for the single port ones, the pinouts are the same, but on that video dual port one, according to that datasheet, they are not the same pinout. And I can't tell you why that is. If I had designed them, I'd have probably made the pinout the same too, because I can't stand headaches like that. All right, so let's take a look at this Mach 32 card. Because both of those cards I bought for scrap work. They just work. I definitely got my money's worth. I got my money out of them for sure. Definitely. Thank you, Glitchworks. Should he be watching this? Thank you for letting me gamble for some scrap cards. So now I've got another sound card and a video card to add to my collection of cards that I will eventually use for. I'm going to create some videos on cards so you can compare performance. So yeah, I'm not planning on selling those cards anytime soon. I was buying them. I was gambling with the out of the scrap pile price to, well, in lieu of gambling on eBay, the place where I buy things I later regret. Because sometimes I feel like the outcome is the same in both cases. A gamble. I am actually thinking that on this card, one of these buffer chips is bad. So here's the 32-bit Visa Local Bus buffer. And I'm actually thinking that one of these buffer chips is bad, not the RAM. As if it is the RAM, it's going to be the onboard RAM. And that's going to be painful. Basically, the problem is on this card is that there were white stripes in the video output, which led me to believe that one of the buffer chips might be the cause. Although, I am very tempted to carefully pull this chip out and deoxit the socket. I'm also going to have to pull a Visa Local Bus board out to test this, obviously. Alright, let me see if I can find my... Alright, you'll see my chip puller here. Hopefully it will actually extract and not, like... Oh, there we go. Oh, excellent. Came out without any fuss. Alright, contact cleaner. Probably a bit more than I needed, but... Alright, chip back in. And, alright, so that's going to fix that. I don't see any... Alright, let me just at least go to the microscope view and double check the Mach 32 chip here. Make sure there doesn't seem like there's any issues with this connector. Would it have helped if I'd pulled this video card out of a diaper box? Maybe put it in a DVD case. I mean, it's not too late for me to try to cram this in a DVD case and re-put it on my workbench. Alright, so first thought I would inspect this, and if I don't see anything, I may very gently just do a test to make sure these are all soldered. Okay, but I wanted to check, make sure none of these pins are bent. Right, Gutbomb said he saw a bad one. Go back down that right side. Alright. Okay, I may very well have to get the... That is... Let's see if I can find something just a little bit smaller so I could actually see things. There we go. Maybe these tweezers, maybe? Oh. Gutbomb says carry on. Well, let me at least still make sure... I don't want to use that. I'm gonna find a spudger. Yeah, I don't think any of those were loose. Alright. How about let's confirm symptoms. I did at least deoxit that socket. I'm pretty sure it's not the ROM. It's quite possible Chris actually deoxidated both sockets. I wasn't paying complete attention to what he was doing when he was looking at the card. I do know, though, he has copious amounts of deoxit, so that is something he quite possibly did. All right. I think for testing this card, I'm going to pull this computer out. I think it's only appropriate. So this case. Now, the motherboard in this case is not from the swap meet. It's from eBay. However, I think several of the other components in here are from the swap meet. So I think it's appropriate that I would use a computer built from swap meet parts to test a video card that was bought at the swap meet. Because actually, this is one of my quirky motherboards. Although it looks like I did pull the hard drive out. Oh, first though, just for sanity check, let's make sure that the computer works still. Just in case. No. Well, I mean, the motherboard's somewhat of a regret because it's quirky, but I mean, it works. It works with that Blue Lightning processor you sold me, so there's that. I don't have a floppy drive plugged in. Oh, I also don't have the keyboard plugged in. Anyways, okay. That's good enough. So, the motherboard posts like a champ. Oh, hi, Eric. Welcome. All right, motherboard posts like a champ. I mean, the motherboard's quirky. I wouldn't really recommend it, but so the video card I have in here is my Mach 64 video card that I got at the swap meet. This is the one that Chris handed me a video card from the table. He's like, "Justin, you need to buy this." And when Chris tells you something like that, you do it. Because I didn't have to take a double look to see that he had just handed me the Mach 64 video card that was on the table and said that, yeah, you should buy this video card. Because the seller, I think I got it for $20. I think that's all the seller wanted for it. Or something like, or maybe it was $30. It might have been $30. Anyways, definitely a good price on that Mach 64 video card. The nice thing about swap meets. All right, so let's see what the Mach 32 does. Ooh, even worse than it was at Chris's house. So that's what the Mach 32 card's doing. Okay, so it is doing... Well, I do see something odd about it. Surely that couldn't be it, though. There is some fuzz there on the back of the card. All right. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, definitely something has failed on that card. Yeah. All right. Let's see if anything. I'm feeling the card to see if I feel anything that's like running hot. Ooh, wait a minute. I touched something and the picture changed. Capcom says that pattern makes me think VRAM problem. Yeah. So I touched one of the VRAM chips, and that's what caused the lines to change slightly. All right, let me pull the add-on VRAM. Now, of course, some of this I know Chris has already done. But I'm gonna pull the upgrade VRAM off the board again. Because it's the, well, because that's the only VRAM that, or actually, oh, wait. All right. Actually, I just reseated it because it's really hard to pull out. All right. Oh, and now it looks like it's even worse. Ooh, I think I know what it is. So, what was I doing to cause those lines to go away? I did something I don't normally like to do, but I was pushing the card. I was actually pushing the card gently this direction on the backside, and the lines went away. So, there's. I bet there's a bad solder joint somewhere on this card. Probably on the Visa Local Bus side. Probably from the stress of inserting and removing the cards. Let's take another look at this card here. Yeah, I think there's a loose connection somewhere. One or more loose connections, probably from the stress of inserting and removing the card. So let's take a look at this card again. So I was pushing the card on the backside. I don't think the problem's on this side, although it could potentially be here, but I bet the problem is like either in the RAM or here. I'm kind of inclined to say maybe RAM. I really would like to pull these add-on RAM chips out so I can get a better look at things around them, but I'm having trouble gripping them to pull them out. So I'm going to use some... Oh, that's not working. Actually, let's do this. All right. All right. Let's take a look at these. Ooh, wait a minute. All right. I was kind of wondering if there's a bad solder joint on some of these pins. Nope, that's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should reflow all the memory pins. Hard to tell if any of them are. All right, well, that looks fine. I'm gonna check these chips here real quick. All right. Yeah, a lot of them kind of look like they might be cracked, but I couldn't move some of the ones that look cracked, so I'm not sure if they're actually cold solder joints or if it's just an optical illusion because of the lighting. Also, 28 times 16 is a lot of pins to reflow because the thing is, I don't know. I'd pretty much have to just reflow them all because I can't tell if any of them are cracked or not. But I bet it's the memory because honestly, I think these buffer chips down near the piece of local bus slot, I think they're too far down on the board for them to have been the cause of it changing when I'm thinking the problem is I'm now thinking the problem is RAM, and now you see there's a solder joint that I don't know that looks cold. It doesn't look pretty, that's for sure. I mean, that might just be flux on it. Back. Another one that just doesn't look that pretty, but that's not moving. All right, I'm gonna do this. All right, so I have some isopropyl alcohol. Let me scrub the board here. See if I can't get some of the junk off the board, and maybe I can see better. Yeah, there's quite a few where it looks like you can see a seam, and maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to reflow all these. Which being 11 o'clock, I don't know that I'm going to reflow this tonight. Because it's one of those things, I just need to reflow all the pins because I don't know which ones are at fault. But yeah, I bet that's what the problem is. I bet from inserting and removing this card. Gut Bomb says, reflowing all of those sounds miserable. Well, another thing that sounds miserable would be to scrap a Mach 32 card before its time is up. And I mean, it's always possible that there could be something wrong with this card and its time is up. But I don't know. From what I've seen now, well, I just dumped my isopropyl alcohol out on the table, so you can mark that square on your bingo card. Anyways, Gut Bomb says, I mean, you could go nuts with a ton of flux and a big knife edge tip and drag all of them, but it would still be a bummer. Yeah. All right, let's see. See if cleaning them made any difference in being able to see. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch that, yeah, it's like you can see a seam. It's not like, the thing is, I don't see like just like one pin that looks like it's it, or even just like a small handful of pins that's it. It seems like there's a number, and it's large enough that it says, that's telling me that I might as well just reflow them all. Adam McGee says, this is nice and all, but when are you going to open some large boxes of DVDs again? Well, not this week. I didn't get fooled into buying more mystery boxes. All right. Well, I think I'd probably know what I'm going to do on Dave's stream on Sunday. Most likely. Reflow the memory on this card. We'll go from there. I'm not going to start that tonight. All right. Anyways, I'll queue that up for a reflow. All the memory chips, and we'll go from there. All right. Oh, let me at least put my Mach 64 card where I'll remember to put it back in the system it was in. I'm thinking now that I'm going to give this now that I took a look at the Mach 32 card, because I kind of said I would look at that. Let's take a look at this socket 462 motherboard that I got today. Adam says just set it in your toaster oven. Yeah. Actually, I almost could do that. Almost could do that. All right, let me put my Mach 64 card back in this computer. There we go. All right. Let me grab a processor here. Actually, I might as well just grab this whole thing. All right. So I had bought a case on some marketplace. And before you say eBay, I actually think it might have been Mercari. I had bought it for the case. And it had a motherboard in it. And the motherboard doesn't work. Oh, I'm going to have to grab some RAM. It's going to be DDR. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the motherboard that came in the case that I'd bought looks like it takes DDR. No. Okay, the motherboard that I have in my hand takes PC 133, I think. This board here takes DDR. I think I need DDR. Alright, that's going to be fun. I'll have to see if I have any DDR RAM to spare. Alright, I may not be able to test this motherboard very far. Alright, so let me set this to the side for a moment, because I need to remove this heatsink very carefully, because this was the era of AMD processors where, well, I guess Intel was doing it too, but AMD right there, that's the processor, the backside of the processor die right there. Now, I'm pretty sure this processor will work in this board, because it is a socket 462 processor, and it's a 462 board. Just this is a 900 and oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. That doesn't feel right, but Maybe it is. Okay. And I realize it's going to break the internet to do it, but for all I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the heatsink back on. Carefully. All right, very carefully. All right, so I got the heatsink back on. I'm plugging the heatsink into the header marked CPU fan. And yeah, well, this is a newer one, so it should support more socket 462s. If this board works, I'd actually like to get a, at the risk of seeming silly. Oh, this says onboard video. All right, well, I definitely need to find some RAM. I want to get a 1.3 gigahertz Duron for this board. I'm going to use the onboard video for this test. It's probably awful. I do need to find some DDR RAM. Let me see if I can find my bag of memory modules. All right, let's see what's in this bag of RAM here. No, okay. Well, the first board I had, it wasn't one of the older boards, so it only supported up to a gigahertz. But there's something wrong with the board. Okay, here we go. I gotta stick a DDR. I don't know if it works, but it's definitely I actually think I have 2 sticks of DDR here. All right, we'll start with this first one. It's DDR 333. All right, we got memory, we got processor, we've got power. And by the way, before anyone like brings out their pitchforks for wondering why in the world I'd want a Duron 1.3 gigahertz processor, before you bring your pitchforks out, would you please go look up the code name of the processor? Thank you. Oh, hey, 1-bit fever dreams. A bit close to 1-bit, but not quite. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I got to figure out what the. Oh, all right. I think the power switch is here. Oh. Step 1, plug it in. There we go. All right, so far so good. Whoa! Okay, it's a little wonky on the speed detect, but Sloopy says, I will put down the pitchfork, but the torches will stay high till I look up. Okay, fair enough. Jeremy says, I built so many AMD 462 systems when they were the new hotness. Joe says, is the codename DVD? No, Joe. Try again. 32 megabytes of shared memory, DDR266. Oh, that Jeremy says that's why I'm not all that fond of them. I'll let you all figure out what the code name is when you actually decide to look it up. I'll give you a hint. This generation of AMDs, they nicknamed the processors after horses. And Joe's probably going to reply back something like, I'm not a farmer. Or like, I'm a museum operator, not a farmer. Go into the BIOS for the RAM speed. Yeah, Joe says thoroughbred. I remember. Well, yeah, I think this one's thoroughbred, but I want the 1.3 gigahertz Duron. One bit says activate DDR5 speeds at once. Well, hold on. I gotta plug a keyboard in. And unless I can find a USB keyboard first, I'll have to turn it off to plug a PS2 keyboard in. What? Alright. Hold please while I completely missed the target and knock a few things over I didn't want to knock over. Alright. I don't think I knocked anything over so bad that I damaged it, but I didn't really want to knock the Packard Bell motherboard off from where it was sitting. Alright. Yes, if you... In case you're wondering, I have a stack of boxes. Stack of boxes from the last couple unboxings, and, well, I'm going to take care of that problem. There we go. Alright. There's no way I will forget to take care of that problem tonight on my way upstairs, because I will have to trip over those boxes now to get upstairs. Yay. Alright, I am going to have to turn this off because... I found a PS2 keyboard. Also, I am going to plug in one of these video cards I got because nobody likes shared memory. So I'm going to plug in this AGP card. No, I'm not going to plug in this AGP card. It's the wrong voltage. Alright, I'll plug in this PCI graphics card. There we go. We're going to try the Rage Pro PCI. Jeremy says the CPU is slightly overclocked. I would beg to differ, Jeremy. It's a 950 megahertz processor, it would seem like the processor is slightly underclocked on this system at the moment. Unless I missed something. Well, hold on, Jeremy. I gotta get into the BIOS. Yeah, that processor is slightly underclocked. It should be 950. Alright, optimize defaults. Alright. Standard CMOS settings. February. Alright, at least it's a year 2000 compliant BIOS. 2315. Disable that for the moment. Advanced BIOS. Yeah, that's all fine for the moment. Advanced chipset. There we go. VGA shared's disabled. Alright, that's probably fine. Integrated peripherals. Power management. Plug and play. We'll leave that off. PC health. Frequency voltage. So CPU clock should be 100 megahertz. Yes. Wait a minute. DRAM clock by SPD. Okay. That's correct. Oh, Jeremy said he thought it was a 900. Okay, no, it's someone wrote on marker on the top of the CPU that it's a 950. I don't. Why are. Okay. Oh. Well, it's there. There's two choices. I'm just going by SPD because I don't. This is just a standard boring memory module. And yeah. Yeah. And in fact, actually, from what I saw on the label, it's detecting it correctly by the SPD. So this is not a performance memory module. I don't want to overclock anything. It's it's fine. I'll get enough performance out of this. I just want to see if the board works. Yeah, it's fine, Jeremy. You're cool. I just want to see if the board works. I'll tinker with settings later when I get the processor I really want to put in it. At the moment, I don't have the processor I want to put in it. However, I think I just realized I have a video card that I've been meaning to test, and I can actually install it in this board. So I may go run upstairs and grab it. Because I think it's actually a card that would go in this board. Let's see if this will boot into DOS. Oh, well, maybe it did. I didn't look closely. Well, it was saying 941 before I set the settings, which was really weird. I bet I need to put a new battery in this motherboard. Okay. Okay, the battery is most definitely dead in this board. Okay. Yeah, it might have said 950 before I powered it off to put the compact flash card in it. Now it says 941 again. This board has some really screwy math when it first boots up. Because I don't know where it gets 941 megahertz, because 133 times what? 941 divided by 133 is not going to be one of the division settings as far as I know. Just missing a whopping 9 megahertz. Hey, I want my 9 megahertz. Some people want their MTV. Well, I want my 9 megahertz. Well, no, what I'm saying though is something I don't. The board is coming up with 941 somehow. And if it were defaulting to 133 megahertz front side bus, well, I mean, 941 is 133 times 7. Well, it's 7.07. Uh, Adam's got a Mac. It runs 168 megahertz on a 42 megahertz bus. Sad Mac's trying to make that reference work too. Oh, I think it locked up. Oh, well. Oh, all right. It locked up for some reason. Oh. Maybe I didn't hit delete in time. Oh, maybe it was trying to detect the hard drive that it was not going to because I forgot to plug the power into the compact flash card adapter. There we go. All right. Load optimized defaults. Adam says, I don't know anything about these PC boards, so I'm playing with my Mac clone. Well, sounds like a good thing. 4. All right, so we are at 23. 23. 23. Why not? I'm not sure we're actually there, but turn the floppy drive off. All right, advanced BIOS. All right, I think all that's fine. Advanced chipset. All right, that all works fine. Do want to turn this shared memory thing off because I'm using a PCI video card. I think that's all fine. Integrated peripherals. Yeah, I think that's all. Let's have one board audio. That's cool. Okay. Now we'll leave power management alone. We're running DOS, I don't need that. I do not believe that CPU core temperature is accurate Because if it was, then the processor would be immolating itself right now. Yeah, I don't think this board can do more than PC 2100. So there we go. Once you set the settings, it sees it as a 950. I don't have the sound card installed. I can't. There's no ISA slots. Mac84 says, ooh, a blue screen of not death. 380.9 frames per second. Yeah, I think this PCI video card works. Hi, Steve. I'm testing a PC thing. 81.3 frames per second. Wow, look at that animation. That is so smooth on this computer. Yeah, so this motherboard was one I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, or, well, I guess on a Facebook group as Untested. Free, untested, just pay shipping. This video card, free, just pay shipping, untested. And it looks like the motherboard and the video card work. Excellent. 37.2. All right, well, let's see how fast this computer can doom. Yeah. Doom in like 10 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Duron, or yeah, it's a Duron 950 megahertz processor. 2134 game ticks and 842 real ticks. Someone can do the math on that. Oh. All right, and then because I'm sure folks are going to wonder how Quake does, Quake is going to help us remember this is an AMD based system. All right, while this runs, I'm going to go upstairs and grab the video card I haven't been able to test because I haven't had a PC with the right AGP slot on it. All right. I'll take these boxes upstairs while I'm at it so that I remember to throw them out. All right. 19.8 frames per second. Well, we'll see if we can beat that. Jeremy says, I had a Duron 750 as my first all new PC except for the case. Cool. Adam McGee says, Duron still sounds like a brand of car battery to me. Well, I always think it sounds like a Walmart uh, brand of appliance for some reason. Okay, let's uh let's try this other video card here. I think it'll fit in this computer. So that was a PCI Rage Pro. So very nice. This is a Radeon 9600 that I bought from a coworker, and it will actually, well, if I can get it to go in the slot. All right, let me. Oh, it won't go in the slot. Well, that's weird. The aftermarket cooler is interfering with the PCI slot beside it. That is really weird, huh? Okay, I can't test the card. The aftermarket cooler is interfering with the. Wait a minute. Oh, I think I see the problem. I think, all right. So it does look like there's the ability to adjust it, but huh. All right. Well, what? Not Jeremy? It is the correct slot. The key is here. The key is here. But notice how far this heatsink comes down on the card. It's like basically even with the top of the AGP connector. This heatsink is interfering with the PCI slot beside it. I cannot push this card all the way in. So, kind of weird that someone would have put a fan on it that doesn't fit. Although, is there a no? Yeah, yeah. I'm not. It's all right. Let me see if I can adjust the heatsink because it looks like there's the ability to move where the posts go through the card. Maybe this is a case that. Okay, there's one of two possibilities. Either someone put the heatsink on because the original one was loud, but they never actually installed the card with it on, or it got bumped. And I just need to simply move where the posts go through on the heatsink. So let me try that. Oh, they did put thermal paste on it. All right, so let's try that. And that. Yeah, I think. Can't remember where my coworker said the card was used, but it might have been like one of their family members' cards. Oh, here we go. I think I got it. This might work. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think it was a less sinister explanation. I think the heatsink just kind of got bumped down because there, I put the standoffs through the other holes that were on it, and now if you notice, it's a little bit higher, although, and oh, okay, now it's not the PCI card that's conflicting. It's the silly. Now I think it's the AGP retention clip. All right. The card's not in all the way. All right. All right, let me see if I can. Thomas Armstrong says hammer. I don't really want to break the motherboard, not this close to having it working. There we go. I think it was hitting the one of the RAM clips and I didn't see it. There we go. I got it in. All I had to do was move the heatsink. Yeah, I caught it before I saw the chat. Yep. Thanks, Ian. Just remember, you all have a slightly better advantage than I do because you can see over the top, and well, I couldn't see where the RAM clip was. This heatsink on the video card has a blue LED. Replacement heatsink is kind of loud. All right, I was trying to remember where there was the setting for which init display first. There we go. Oh, hey, VBorg, welcome. Yeah, blue LED everything, circa 2000. Yeah, it looks like it works. I am kind of tempted to maybe. Disk boot failure. That's weird. Disk boot failure. Well, the video card seems to work, but I don't know why we're getting a disk boot failure. The compact flash card's still there. All right. Let's check settings again. Oh, not detecting the. Oh, interesting. It's not detecting the compact flash card. Did I displace it? Let me see if my computer still likes it. Yes, the computer still detects it. All right, let me just manually configure it. 993, 1663. Okay. All right. There is a hard drive. It's not letting me save the CMOS. Hi, Jack. Welcome back. Ian Scott says, because I never delete email, I found the order confirmation from when I bought my Duron 650 in 2000. It was $126. Joe says, no hard drive. Well, actually, I didn't touch the compact flash card, which auto-detected with the PCI card installed. And now it's not auto-detecting. In fact, I tried to manually configure it, and the BIOS locked up when I tried to save. I don't know. I mean, the IDE channel 1 was working earlier. I don't see why I should have to move to IDE 2. Although it'd be par for the course. I have a small collection of boards that have a bad primary IDE channel. Jack says what you need is a graphics card that you can back up your BIOS to. Well, if only there was an ISA slot. Alright, something's not working right. Okay, so let's pull the AGP card, because everything started when I put this card on. It might just be a big coincidence. Let's go back to the PCI card that I was successfully using. I'm going to put my compact flash card back where it was. And let's try again. I was not... Oh, bummer. The seller's away to February 25th. Oh, that's such a shame. I'm gonna clear the CMOS settings and try again. Alright, CMOS. There we go. Clearing CMOS now. Other than that is like the most awful jumper, but it probably did its job. Quite possible that the motherboard actually wasn't working. Alright, well, I'll add it to my watch list. But I can't order it until they're back. Well, I'll queue it up for when I decide to order parts. Trying to see how long this month I can go without ordering parts. Except if I get coffee tips. Well, as I've kind of mentioned before, the the 2 months where I have to pay the most expensive power bill is February and March. So the power company gets my extra retro computing money. Just because the two coldest months happen to be January and February. So the bills are due in February and March. So there you go. That's why I'm trying not to buy parts if I can keep from it. Because the power company is going to get extra money instead. Just one of those facts of life. I have thought of turning on budget billing, but every time I think about it, um I probably should. It's just if I turned it on now, I would get penalized for last winter, and I don't know that I want to do that. I have a heat. I have two heat pumps. So yeah, I guess I have electric heat. The only other option here would be propane, but propane is more expensive than electric, so that's really a non-option. Not that I don't have a propane fireplace, but I can't light the pellet on my propane fireplace, so it's broken. I think this motherboard might have failed before our very eyes. Because it's definitely not doing the thing. I was thinking that maybe it was going to eventually time out detecting the hard drive, but I don't think the compact flash card failed. I think this motherboard is failing. I was almost kind of expecting that maybe I would see some electrolytic capacitors that, well, I mean, I don't see the electrolytic capacitors have leaked, but there's definitely something up with this board. Yeah. Yeah, Jack says, being in the upper Midwest, the only practical option is natural gas. Yeah, I had natural gas at my townhouse. Jeremy says, same story for natural gas here in Arkansas. Borg, I've got natural gas in the fireplace if I felt inclined. Yeah, I'm not in a city, so the Charlotte's. Yeah, the Charlottesville City runs gas service to part of Albemarle County, and the townhouse I was in was part of the county where they run gas service. So I had gas service from the Charlottesville city of Charlottesville, but they don't run natural gas up to Greene County. So, oh well. Yeah, I'm I'm basically suburban, starting to get rural. So it's propane, and propane is really expensive. So yeah, this board kind of seems like it just yeah now it oh it's powering on its own now. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Well, it saw the hard drive. Now, I bet the primary IDE channels. I bet the primary IDE channel decided to go the way of the dodo bird, which is a shame because this would be like the second or third board I've managed to get within the past year where the primary IDE channel is dead, which is really annoying. But and the thing is, it would have died right before our very eyes because the compact flash card did boot when I had this PCI card in the first time. I know I'm not going crazy. I know I was in DOS and ran some benchmarks. All right. Yeah, Jeremy said, I'm glad my house has natural gas as an option. Otherwise, my electric bill would not be sustainable. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had natural gas, but it was just a. There we go. It booted. All right. Let's try that AGP card again. This was kind of one of the trade offs I had to make to move. Still be close to work, but move away from the airport. Let's just say that moving other directions away from the airport would have resulted in, well, either more expensive houses and potentially no natural gas, or no natural gas, anyways. So, oh, Jeremy says my old house doesn't have insulation except for the attic. All right, well, this house was built in 2004, so there is insulation. Maybe not quite as good as my townhouse because my townhouse was built in 2010, and I think it had slightly better insulation because they did insulate a bit better. Plus, two of the walls were shared, so that certainly helped too. Well, Viborg, it was kind of a combination of the airport and like being in a townhouse community, so like you're so close to everyone, and when cars zoom down your street, God. All right, I think this AGP card might be part of the problem. Oh, hi, I love Scotch. All right. Well, maybe this AGP card's the problem. Although I think the IDE channel on this board died too, so. All right. Yeah, I guess I got to the point where I was tired of townhouse living, so I moved to a detached house. Okay, let's face it. Maybe I was getting tired of HOA living too. Yeah, BIOS chips are usually standard EPROMs. All right, I think this video card is. I think that video card. I think there's something wrong with that card. It's caused problems both times I've put it in this computer. Let's go back to the PCI one. All right. Jack, Sad Max says, I don't blame you. I'm getting tired of thin walls. Huh. Well, and here we go again. I think the board is. Okay, well, maybe that Radeon card isn't. Maybe it's not the Radeon card after all. Maybe it's the motherboard. Oh, hi, Chris. Welcome. The Mach 32 video card you gave me. I took a look at it. I think the memory needs reflowed. Like all the pins. That's gonna be a lot of pins to reflow. All right, I think this motherboard is the problem. Maybe it just maybe it needs recapped. I mean, this motherboard is probably going to be like what 2000, 2001, and I mean the caps look fine, but they also don't look like they're the greatest of quality. Well, I mean, I gambled on free motherboard, pay shipping, untested, and I mean, I don't smell fish, but that's not to say that one or more of these caps isn't like going out. So maybe I got to recap it, or okay. So I won't declare this board as bad just yet, but there's definitely something going on with it. Ah, Chris says the one VLB Trident that I thought was dead is okay. Excellent. Jeremy says thin walls. My old house walls are built out of 1.25-inch shiplap. Well, that's pretty decent thickness. So, I guess the verdict is I do at least have a good PCI video card here. nice Rage Pro PCI. So that card works. That was one of the items in the pay shipping, get it free. I'll have to dig up an AGP motherboard I can put this in. Actually, maybe this would be good in that Super 7 motherboard I have. Rage Pro Turbo. But I'm not going to pull that out tonight because it's midnight now. But I'll test that later. And then I suspect this network card is probably just going to work because these 3Com cards are nearly invincible, seemingly. So, anyways, thanks to Sabrina for offering those cards for paying shipping and the motherboard. So, all right, at least I got a neat PCI card that I didn't have already. I can use that for some of my shenanigans. Maybe I can get this motherboard running. I'm kind of wondering if maybe it needs... I mean, maybe it needs recapped. I don't know. There is something weird about it where the CPU core temperature... It was reading the CPU core temperature is 127 degrees Celsius, but only 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is a bit suspicious. Maybe there's a BIOS upgrade I need to install if I can get it to run long enough. That would be the question. So, I mean, it is entirely possible this RAM might be bad. I haven't been able to test it. It was in a bunch of RAM I bought at the swap meet. So I won't declare this board dead just yet, but it's certainly not doing itself any favors in persuading me to order caps for it. But I guess next time I look at this board, probably the first thing I'll do is see if I can't update the BIOS. And I guess at least the one good thing is, if there is an updated BIOS, at least it is socketed. So I could use an external programmer to update it. Yeah, Jack says that's some wrong temperature math. Yeah, which has me possibly suspicious it needs a firmware update. Could be a sign something's not working on the motherboard, too. Because the thing is, all the other temperatures looked fine. It was the core temperature said it was 127 degrees Celsius, which I'm pretty sure on these Duron processors, that if the core temperature really was that high, it would have, went pop and stopped working. So, Vborg says math is hard, yes. Anyways, I think that's where I'm going to draw the stream to a close. So, the summary is, I got a PCI video card from the Facebook group that works, and a couple things I'll have to test later. The ATI video card I got from Glitch, it worked. It just worked. So I got a 16-bit ATI card that just worked. I'm actually thinking I might try this in my Emerson 386. See if it's better than the Paradise card I have in it. So yeah, that card just worked. And the sound card I picked up from Glitch just worked. So definitely 2 non-regret cards. I definitely got my money's worth. So not going to say how much I paid out of courtesy for Glitch, but so Glitch, if you happen to be watching this, thank you for letting me dig through your scrap card pile and picking up few cards. I will definitely enjoy using them for my computer explorations. If you do notice that sound card is a bit dusty, I will clean it off. But otherwise, they are a collection of cards for trying and things. Except I might put the ATI card in my Emerson 386. It might stay there. Of course, maybe it'll go in the higher 386. So, good night, Joe. I'm actually about to stop streaming for the night, too. Overall, I think a successful night. Certainly felt more successful than Tuesday. Because, yeah, mystery boxes were full of DVDs. That felt less successful. So, I guess Don't forget to smash that like button if you like seeing cards from scrap piles that just work. No, Comcast, I'm not smashing your like button because that's a very mean thing you're telling me. Yeah, I'm probably dropping a few frames now. Yeah, YouTube's not receiving data. Wait a minute. Uh, okay, I should still be transmitting, but yeah, Comcast isn't getting their like button smashed right now. So smash that like button if you like seeing scrap cards that just work, or free things that just work, or even a little bit more perseverance to maybe see if this board can't be saved too. Because I would like a board for the Duron 1300 that I'd like to get at some point, which no one guessed it in the chat. The code name for that processor and the ones right around it was Morgan. Actually, Joe might have guessed it. I might have missed it. But anyways, uh, Jeremy says no more DVDs, por favor. Well, I'm not going to get any more mystery boxes for a while, but I can't guarantee that if I do try mystery boxes again, that it won't be like a box full of DVDs or something adjacent to DVDs. But yeah, I'm not going to do that for a while. So smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I'm sure you're probably will be totally curious where I put these cards. So, or even if I can get this board working. And with that, I think I'm going to draw the stream to a close. Jeremy's recommending that I look for a K7 S5A version 1. All right, okay. I gotta see what Jeremy's recommending. K7 S5A. Oh. Um, well, there are a couple on eBay. There's one for $20 for parts are not working. What's special about this board, Jeremy? Why would I want this board over top something else? I'm just curious because, well, I'm obviously not going to get the first one I found on eBay because it says it's for parts are not working. I'd rather have at least a little chance of it might be working. Oh, it's an ECS board. I was kind of wanting something a bit better than ECS. Viborg says KT7A was the boss for first gen socket A. Oh. Okay. That, yes. Yep. Okay, I see it now. It's got 2 DDR sockets and 2 SD-RAM sockets. You can use either or. Actually, I need a second gen socket A board because the Duron 1300 needs second gen. Jeremy says he'll go to XP 1500. Well, oh, that's interesting. It looks like ECS still has this board on their website. I don't really. Come on, just tell me what it'll support. Now I'm curious. The internet must know. Yeah, they still. The interesting thing is, ECS still has the board on their website. Oh, here we go. So it will support AMDX Athlon XP. Oh, okay. There we go. It'll support the processor I want to use. Or at least version 5 of the board will. Cool. Jeremy says I had a K7 S5A and it would just work. All right. Seaborg says, let me check when I get home. I have a brand new inbox socket A board. Cool. Okay, well, maybe I might get a socket A system up sooner rather than later. So, yeah, don't know what's wrong with this board. Looks like I might have plenty of options. So, anyways, I am definitely getting tired now because yeah, we did some office cleaning today. So, yeah, I'm getting tired now. So, anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Take care and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.